Guys, I got to tell you something. Xander Zayas isn't the future. He's now. Just won a title at 22 years old, defeating Jorge Garcia in a Mexico versus Puerto Rico showdown. We always love those. Oh, Xander Zayas he's really good right now. Super welterweight champion, one of 4. We're not going to count Terence Crawford as a super welterweight anymore because he's fighting Canelo at super middleweight now, but Xander Zayas might be the best of them all, and there's some interesting fights. He won a unanimous decision. I didn't get to see the power I wanted from him, but at 22 years old, he has time to get into his grown man strength. But this win this weekend showed me just how good this kid could be. And it's really weird now saying this kid because I am 35 years old in September, so in a couple months, watching 22-year-olds fight. So I am the old man critiquing the young bucks now. Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts. Before we get into this episode, guys, look, in the description, I've got a link to this right here. Learn you up some history. Jack Dempsey, fantastic boxer. Also, like, subscribe, the whole 9 yards. Y'all know about that. He's the real deal, the youngest champion. I didn't realize Brian Norman is only 24. He's the youngest champion in boxing. Well, he was. I think Brian Norman beats Devin Haney. We're gonna talk about that later. But now Xander Zayas is your youngest champion, only 22 years old. This kid is something special. Now let's level with you guys. Jorge Garcia is not the best boxer in the world, and this was for a vacant title. He wasn't taking the belt off of a champion, but he's not the best boxer in the world at all. But what he does is bring a hard fight to anybody he fights, and you could tell he has that awkward stuff. Think about like Sergey Boachuk, you know. Really, really hard fighter to get a read on. Crawford suffered with him. Same division. But Xander Zayas made Garcia he frustrated him the entire time. Battered him up. Beat him up in the clinch. Beat him up at range. Beat him up to the body. There was not a spot Xander Zayas didn't beat up Jorge Garcia. And I'm sitting here looking at the rest of the division. We just watched Sebastian Fundora and Tim Tszyu last weekend. And it's like, man, Fundora looks really good. But then you watch somebody like Xander Zayas at only 22 years old. How good can he get? When does that grown man strength hit? He has a future. Like, we're watching the future of boxing right now with Zayas. He's one of those fighters that is going to be around for a long time. It's going to be like, wow, how long has Xander Zayas been around? Oh, he's only 32. Why have I been watching him 10 years? Because we've been watching him since he was he's 22 now. I really liked what he had for Jorge Garcia this fight. A lot of head movement, a lot of cutting angles, a lot of punching off of those angles. Not scared to work in the clinch. Not clinching too much. He clinched a fair amount. But He was good to fight in the clinch, finding the good uppercuts up in the clinch. He was the complete package this fight. The complete package. I think he might be the best junior middleweight in the world. We're not counting Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford's going to fight Canelo Alvarez at super middleweight. You really think he's going to come back down and fight Xander Zayas? No. Then he'd be like, oh, you're ducking boots. You know, Xander Zayas is promising, and I'm looking. Actually, tell you what, guys, let's take a old road trip over to the web right here, real quick. Let's go to champions real quick. I want to see something about Xander Zayas. Super welterweight. So let's go down to welter. You got Boots down here and Brian Norman. You got Devin Haney coming up to this weight class. So realistically, you could see Ennis go up to fight Zayas. Oh my gosh, that would be a fight. Boots versus Xander Zayas, that'd be fun. Devin Haney, Brian Norman, they could go up and fight Xander Zayas. Catterall, maybe so, even though he had a horrible fight his last fight. Jin Sasaki, well, you know, Liam Paro, you got all these guys that can go up there and fight at this weight class. There's some options out there, but let's not forget where he's at, too. He's got options out there. And my number one, again, I've talked about this in the past. Sebastian Fundora is one of the most interesting puzzles in boxing right now. 6'1,000. He's like a praying mantis in the ring, you know. Talking about Jundo Nakatani being a praying mantis. Not really. He's just LARPing as Sebastian Fundora. He's the most interesting puzzle in boxing, and I wanted to see Fundora versus Crawford because I thought it'd be interesting to see Terence Crawford solve that problem. And I think last weekend we saw Tim Tszyu partially solve that problem, despite him quitting on the stool, which not going to give him any flack for. Fundora's a southpaw, so right hand forward, and Tszyu stifled his offense for like 2-3 rounds just by fighting the lead hand. Then he stopped once he got, comfortable and wanted to open up more. But how do you beat somebody that's longer than you? You got to get in on the inside. How do you do that? Well, you fight his lead hand first of all, and then you dip your head in and you smash the body. Now, who did we see on the last televised ESPN Top Rank Boxing card do that? Xander Zayas. It's interesting. 22 years old. The kid's athletic as can be. How old is Fundora? That's something I think I need to know too, right? Because if Sebastian Fundora, is young enough, we could see an interesting matchup with him. But the fact that Zayas he's 27, okay, one loss to Mendoza. Interesting. Yeah, it's just the length is just fascinating to me from Sebastian Fundora. I think Xander Zayas could beat him. And then you look at the rest of the division, Bakram Murtataliev, you think he can beat Xander Zayas? No. Virgil Ortiz would be an interesting one if you want to do another Puerto Rico versus Mexico fight, right? Virgil Ortiz is the one to make for that. Very violent. I just, that fight right there. I don't count Terence Crawford. He's never fighting it at super welterweight or junior middle, whatever you want to call it again. Never fighting there again. Don't even bet on it. But what Zayas showed here, he lacked a little bit of punching power. But again, I said it 3 times already. The grown man's strength hasn't kicked in yet. He still has some time to get bigger, which is scary. If he's this good at boxing, if he's this smooth with his footwork, the footwork. Everything about what Xander Zayas did was just magnificent this night. Again, Jorge Garcia is not the best boxer in the world, no. But if Xander Zayas can be this good against a Bakram Murtataliev, Virgil Ortiz, Sebastian Fundora, go up Jaron Ennis, the kid's got a future. And it's crazy. Maybe Brian Norman comes up if he beats Devin Haney. The options are there, and Xander Zayas, if he really does become as great as I think he can, we might be watching one of the best of this era. Boxing's too old of a sport to say one of the best ever, because you bet, what about Sugar Ray Robinson? What about Floyd Mayweather? You can go back even further. What about Jack Dempsey, Non-Periel? His nickname literally meant no equal. You can go back hundreds of years. But we could be watching one of the best of this era. And it's way too early to tell that. But I do think Xander Zayas' future is quite bright. And I'm excited to watch the rest of it. Guys, thank you. I've got some cool stuff coming in the works. We're going to do some film studies on this channel. This brand new channel. Lots of cool stuff. And I'd like to get into doing some boxing documentaries. That would be actually pretty fun too. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Later.